So, hi everyone, my name is Anirudh Gautam, and I welcome you all to this brand new interview series by IIT Gwalior. And today with me is our special guest, Mr. Aseem Juneja, sir, from Digital Blogger. He is the founder of a digital blogger and Stock Pathshala. So, firstly, sir, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
Uh,
Anirudh, for having me, and I'm looking forward to this discussion.
Yeah. So, sir, today we'll be discussing about a lot of things. We'll be discussing about the journey of digital blogger as well as your journey as an entrepreneur also. So, firstly, sir, you have started your career into this technical domain, and then you have started into this to marketing section, and then finally doing something on your own. So, what inspired you to take this leap from working somewhere to finally doing something on your own and specifically digital blogger?
It's a very tricky question. See, I'm kind of a person who has been doing something on my own every now and then from the last 12 years, I would say. So I started my journey as an engineer, like you said, with a couple of IT companies, Infosys, IBM, and then I thought, okay, this is great, IT is good, but let's do something else beyond this. So I did my master's in business from Shanghai.
Yeah.
Then I was like, now I'm ready. Now I know business. Now I'm gonna do stuff which actually makes sense for me as an entrepreneur. But then I failed a couple of times. I started an e-commerce business after that, and it didn't really pick up. But then I thought, okay, let's go back to the corporate and understand how things go with this domain understanding. And then I did a 1 year job in one of the broking companies of the country in Mumbai. Then I realized now I'm kind of ready. On stock market as well. My interest built up, and I saw traction coming up. That's where I thought, okay, enough of the job part. Let's now move ahead and actually do things. Let's take this risk and start this whole business as a product. So digitalblogger.com happened, and then we launched hindi.digitalblogger.com, a Hindi version. It's a great sort of website. When it comes to India, vernacular works really charming, and we are coming up with Tamil, Telugu, and Gujarati versions as well on this. I was in Mumbai for 4 years. Then I thought that okay, let's move back to the hometown. So I moved back to Punjab. Now we have a team of around 20-25 people here, and we launched Stock Pathshala last year. And in 6-8 months, honestly, it has picked up really well, around 50,000 downloads. And now I'm a guy that I don't want to go out of stock market. I want to stay here and do multiple sort of businesses within this domain. Yeah.
Yeah, so like just you talked about like you gained some experience in working some organizations before starting your own venture. So do you advise young entrepreneurs to like gain some experience, gain some exposure by working in some big organizations before starting out?
See, totally. I mean, I'm that case study myself. So I tried things on my own. It really depends, honestly, but majorly, as per my experience, it makes sense to do to have some sort of experience in the corporate part yourself first. Waste somebody else's money while you're learning in the job, and then probably once you're ready, then go ahead and do your own thing. See, we are a bootstrap company completely. We've launched around 7 to 8 ventures till now, including the YouTube channel we have, including the Spotify presence we have as a podcast. So we have 4 platforms going on, right? 5 rather platforms within the stock market going on. All of them are bootstrapped. None of them, we are not taking investment. We're not looking to have investment either. So that only, I mean, that kind of confidence only comes after you have gained some sort of experience in the corporate part. So honestly, I would strongly suggest, have some experience. Even if you want to do an MBA, I would say before that, learn something through the industry, gain the practical aspect, and then dive into the ocean. It's all an open sea, man.
Yeah. So what exactly digital blogger is all about?
A digital blogger is basically somebody who wants to learn about stock market. It's a very micro niche kind of a website. We don't term ourselves as a blog. The name says it, but we are not a blog. We are a content company. We talk in different formats. We talk in Hindi, we talk in English, we talk through text, we talk through audio, we talk through videos. We talk through infographics. So primarily the idea is whoever who is looking to enter into the stock market space, whoever who's already into the stock market space, we are the gatekeepers for you. We want to learn about trading. You want to learn about the industry as such, about the different broking companies, different advisory companies, different portfolio management services companies. So we are the top spot for you. Learn about the industry and then sort of dive into the world of trading. So don't put your money with a blank eye. So that's why I said. So if you want to learn, we are the platform for you. Digitalblogger.com gives you that sort of an understanding that irrespective of the phase you are into, learn through the stock market space and then sort of go ahead into it.
Yeah, great.
And honestly, Stock Pathshala, just add one more line to this. And Stock Pathshala was really a byproduct that we wanted to be a little more specific. Our digital blogger talks a little more generic about stock market, but Stock Pathshala goes beyond that and talks about education only.
Okay, so like my next question is about Stock Pathshala only. So like Stock Pathshala is like a stock market school, right? So currently it works on freemium model. Like for the viewers, what is freemium? It's like a company is giving you a service, right? So you can use some part of the service for free, but to use the full service, you need to pay them. So currently Stock Pathshala also works on this model, freemium model. So generally with bootstrap startup business, what problem is associated with this, right, is of conversion rate. Like if we talk about big companies like Evernote, the conversion rate is like 7%. If we talk about Dropbox, the conversion rate is like around 4 to 5%. But for startups, this conversion rate is even less than the average. So essentially we are giving things for free, but it's not free from our end. Like we need to scale up the technology. There's people cost associated with it. So is burning cash the only option, or is there some way around it? Like how you're managing this problem?
Trust me, Anirudh, we are not burning money at all. Even if we had investments, we would not do that. See, yes, we are trying to focus on the quality aspect. The major chunk of the courses on Stock Pathshala are written by US investors who are actual investors, US, UK, people who are sort of investment managers themselves. So yeah, we are burning money there in a sense, but we are trying to make sure that we leverage our presence across the digital blogger, the YouTube channel we have, and the Spotify presence. So we're trying to complement all the products we have reached organically, and then sort of put out the word through for Stock Pathshala. Uh, Burning cash would obviously happen when you have a team to manage, but in the same sense, if you going to the right direction, I've failed honestly, and it has helped me a lot. We've burnt money in my last startups, and now sort of I understand how to keep the costs optimized and then sort of keep it to a level where you are bringing the product for the user at value for money. We are getting a decent conversion rate around 1%. I'd say it's a decent number at the scale we are at. But yeah, we are burning money on a sense of we are doing a lot of ads or through social media. So that definitely is somewhere we are trying to still optimize. Um, there is an option. Obviously, you got to learn about the industry, go slow. It takes away that factor from you that it will, if you don't burn money, then the growth is going to be a little slow for you. So you have to take that sort of compromise if you don't really have a lot of money to sort of spend out.
Yeah. So like if you are confident for the product, then just go for it. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You have to build a team that is strong enough. You need to know the kind of people you want to hire. That those things, if you do right, you trust me, my friend. You're not. I mean, you might want some money, but not so much.
So like from past year, we have seen this industry of stock market trading and the stock market courses booming. Like we have seen individual institutes, they like have courses worth 30,000, 40,000. They have membership worth 20,000. So do you say, do you see worth in their courses?
See, it is sort of a premium space, and they want to keep it positioned that way. And we are trying to be somewhere with a little more sort of value for money for the user. When somebody is investing in the stock market for long term, even if for short term and intraday or swing level, the kind of profit they make, honestly, is way too much than the cost of the course that you might see on online. So there are courses 30,000, 40,000. There are courses for 2 lakh rupees for 5 classes. But then the kind of quality those courses bring certainly adds on to the kind of returns the traders make from the stock market. So, and it totally makes sense. So even if, let's say, you're doing engineering or somebody else is doing an MBA, and an MBA costs you around 40 lakhs minimum if you do it outside India. So that ROI is going to come up in, let's say, 2 years once you get the job, 2 or probably 1.5 years. Similarly, from that math, if you're learning in the stock market space for 2 months, 2, 3 months, 6 months max, you're going to get the ROI pretty much in the same time. So you break even actually pretty quickly when you learn in the stock market as compared to the education, the master's education you do post your basic sort of qualifications. So from a business standpoint, you think that way. Certainly, it is value for money.
But what do you think is the conversion rate? Like, how many people actually become successful after doing these courses?
Okay, so you subscribe to a gym, you take a 1 year membership. How many people actually go for 1 year? Not so much, right?
Yeah.
Very limited, very limited scale here. So even if somebody buys a 1 year subscription at Stock Pathshala, we do know that there's going to be very less chance of a renewal. People won't really spend too much of time, and that is the focus of our messaging. That if you go to a gym, if you do 10 push-ups a day, then you're gonna keep doing it. You can't just do 10 push-ups for 1 month and see that I'm gonna be healthy for the whole life. That's not the way it works. You gotta learn it consistently. So conversion rate from a number of perspectives, trust me, 5 to 7% maximum people. I'm not being conservative. Are the people who are making money. 90 to 92% people exit within the 6 months of their investment journey.
So what do you think? Like, are the traits that differentiates a person who consistently outperforms the market versus the one who underperforms?
So it's kind of closely bound to the answer that we just discussed about. So people who are making money consistently, they are looking at the market consistently. They're trying to learn about the market. See, it's not really a Pythagoras theorem that you learn once and you're done for the life. You gotta see the whole momentum that shifts across the industry, and it does not. This is one industry that gets impacted by every other industry, that gets impacted by
Yes.
the changes in the political space in the US, that gets impacted by the change in the crude oil price in the Middle East, that gets impacted by the trade wars between India or the between the US and China. So there would be instances where India is not even involved, but Indian stock market is getting impacted. So both micro and macro economical issues are going to get sort of in the way. People who are putting up their time and are trying to keep an eye passively even, that this is a space that I should be keeping an eye on and try and see how that impacts the stock market and what industry that eventually impacts and how it impacts. There are instances when there is a decrease in the crude oil price and it actually impacts the stock market positively, even for the power sector. So it's not that a simple science that the A is inversely or directly proportional to B. It can be either way. So you have to sort of keep learning. People who keep that sort of thing going are the people who make money.
Yeah. So learning is the
I've
key.
been there for 5 to 6 years now, and I've really seen a lot of people just wasting out money and expecting things to work in their direction without even putting any sort of effort. They believe that we just want a tip. So we get a lot of questions like, "So what stock shall I put money into today?" And it gets give me 1.5x returns in the next 3 days. That's not the way it works. You gotta learn it yourself and figure out. Pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah. So you talked about tips. That's why we see so many Telegram channels booming in the name of tips, right? Yeah. So what scope do you see for a person who have done MBA in finance in this stock market industry?
Um, the industry with the digital space coming into picture is just getting bigger. The industry started with the people with having offline shops and getting people in queue to their office and asking that I want to put money here, and they go out of the office with a file in hand and say I've invested today in 5 stocks of Infosys and blah blah. It started there, and now it is like even the stockbroking companies are working from home and putting in the trades for an investor sitting in the UAE. So the digital space coming, and we are a perfect example of it. We treat ourselves as a broker to a broker. Like we work with broking companies in the industry, and we give them the kind of business that they are looking into from the same client base that they are targeting. So we are in a sense a broker for a broker here. So the opportunity is there. You can start up a podcast channel, you can start up a YouTube channel, you can be an Instagrammer, you can basically be an influencer yourself and do your thing. You can be a content company, you can be a digital marketing startup within the space of stock market, because there are a lot of things that are going on, and you need to know the domain understanding. You can be an investment banker for that matter, obviously, and you can certainly be somebody who has a research house somewhere in a place and is providing recommendations to people outside who are trying to put up their money. So I mean, I can go on seriously, and there are mutual fund houses, there are smaller companies who are providing mutual fund investments for free, primarily, like Grow, and now Zerodha is also doing it. So within stock market, it really depends. I'm talking just about equity right now. There is commodity, there is derivative, there is currency, there is ETFs, there are bonds. Within those niches, within those investment classes, you can certainly figure out other sort of ways of putting up your shops.
Yeah. So basically, there's ample amount of opportunities. Just depends on you. So what do you think is a learning path if someone wants to begin with?
So if you think that, I mean, if you start by thinking that I'm gonna be somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur within this space, then you've got to figure out what your strengths are, and you trust me, you don't really need to have the domain understanding to enter into any industry. People say that you learn on the way, and but you keep your focus going on. So I was a digital marketer and MBA in marketing. I'm nobody of nowhere close to finance. My job in the stockbroking company I was talking about, as a VP marketing there. I was not a stockbroker. I was not an investor,
Yeah.
investment analyst or something. I was not there. So I don't have the background, but I had the passion of doing. So I had the passion of doing something in this space. So if you want to start something, you got to have the passion thing going. In the first 8 to 10 months, I made no money at all in this business. Obviously, and none of business do that. The only thing I was burning, it was not cash, it was my opportunity cost. I could have made decent money if I continued my job, but I did not. So my time and effort were the things that were at stake. So you gotta, first of all, you gotta keep your passion going. You need to have the direction. It might look a little theoretical that these are the basic answers any blog will tell me, but see, when it comes to direction, you need to have a suitability of the background you come from. I was an engineer, I am a marketer. So those things are still helping me out when we talk about the technology part of marketing, right? I'm a marketer, so that those things are helping me out still in the social media presence or the digital marketing campaigns we produce. The experience at the stockbroking company is still helping me out to understand the way that I understand the industry. I don't really totally understand the domain yet. I'd say if I had to rank myself, I'd give 6 out of 10 to myself when it comes to stock market as an education. So I'll not give myself 10 out of 10. So I'm still learning, but I zero honestly 4 or 5 years back. So I've reached 6. So honestly, these 3 4 theoretical things, when you do practical level, you will make it. No worries on that.
Yeah. So great. So you actually do a lot of comparison videos. Like just you just talked about you like have an direct experience working for a stockbroker, and on digital blogger YouTube channel also you do a lot of comparison videos about stockbrokers. So which one is your favorite?
If I say that, then I'd be termed as a biased person. Trust me. And when we do these videos now, Anirudh, what happens is if we take slight favor of some broking company, we get few comments that this video is being paid. So I'd not say I have a number one sort of a thing, but I'll give you 3 4 broking companies that are doing reasonably well as compared to there are 200 plus broking companies in the country, and right now I'd say Zerodha, Angel Broking, Motilal Oswal, IFL. These 4 5 businesses are doing reasonably well. Now, when it comes to the grabbing the digital space, they are everywhere, and this is where the customer is. So today, the trader becomes a trader at the age of 15, 16. So we get a lot of queries that, sir, I don't have a PAN card, I'm not 18 yet, can I start investment in stock market? So I'd say, okay, you can open a minor demat account. And this is where people, businesses like the ones that I've just mentioned, they were on TikTok. TikTok is banned now, but they were on TikTok as well. So they're trying to be there where the customer is. And then we get a lot of queries from a 60-year-old person that I just came from Qatar. I was working there for 25 years. Now I want to put some money. I have time at my hand. I want to put some money in the stock market. So a 60-year-old who goes at Facebook or somewhere else, this is where these platforms are. So if you want to make me name few, I just named few, and I gave you the reason why.
Uh, so like you just talked about, there are currently the starting phase, the starting age where into the stock market has significantly reduced like till now, and we have seen it, especially during this COVID time, there's an exponential increase in the interest of the youth in stock markets. So like. Do you want to like warn us about something to the youngsters, like don't fall into these things, because we have seen like there's because in the past we have seen a significant recovery like from the bottom. So there's like the majority has made the profits, right? But what now, because the market has like returned to back to the like the same level which was before this COVID situation. So
See, it was Niruddh, it was always on the cards. The market was supposed to come back. Market never fails. People do. So it went to as low as 16, 17,000. You might have seen 15,000 as well. Now it's not, rather 25,000 or 15, 25,000. And now it's at back at 40 plus. So the major 2 3 points that people who are trying to enter the stock market space should take care. And I always start with the one that I'm going to do that. Never get into intraday trading if this is what you are. If you're starting your stock market trading journey, intraday trading will excite you because it is come in you. So you enter the trade today and you exit the trade the same day. So it's the short time, the short span, the short time span is pretty exciting from that perspective. It's like a T20 match where you get results right away. So there is instant gratification, if you call it, either way, profit or loss. But it is very risky if you don't learn the tricks and strategies of intraday trading. Then you are I mean, I'd say 8 out of 10 invest traders are gonna book a loss if they start like completely blank. So don't do that at all. Never ever enter into stock market investment in any form without learning the basics of it. So you got to have some idea. Don't trust your friends, relatives, investment advisors, stock brokers, who, for me, for that matter, me, I mean, even if I tell you go ahead and invest in this stock, don't do that. So have some basic idea, question each and every movement, and then put your money into the stock market, because this is going to excite you a lot. And people will tell you that I made so much money, man, trust me, I'm telling you a decent tip. Put your money as well. This is the money that you earned. He did not. And if you lose, you're going to lose. He's not going to lose you. So I'll give you an example. If you buy a mobile phone, you do your research completely. You're putting your money into it. You're going to, let's say, keep it for 2 years. So that's your investment. And that's why you look at the RAM, you look at the camera megapixels, you look at the battery life, and 5 other things. But then if you're looking to put your money into a company who's that company is going to use that money and put it somewhere else. It can go either way. So you need to know what that company is actually doing right now with the current investment money that they have. So they have decent idea, and then go ahead and do that. I mean, still you may fail, but the chances are going to be much lesser. You may be, let's say, 3 out of 10 of your trades are going to go at the loss side, but you are still making profit in the rest of the seven. So in all, if I have to put it in a single sentence, I'd say educate yourself, and only then sort of go ahead into the investment journey. Don't ever believe what others have to say.
yeah, so great. So till now, I think we have seen so many individuals like started, especially during this COVID time. So yeah, this is like the most important learning you can get, right? So I as like from your experience in the stock market, what's the most impactful learning you have gained till now?
from stock market, the journey that I also invest every now and then. My takeaway would be that you have to, like I mentioned earlier, you have to trust the companies that you have put money into. So I'm a person who performs detailed analysis. If I'm doing short term trading, I'm doing my technical analysis. I take few days actually before I put my money. I am not a guy who like looks at the stock and figure out the trends and charts. I can do that, but I don't, because I have other things going. And obviously my intention is to analyze the stock. If I'm investing for long term, let's say for 5 years, then I'm going to do my fundamental thing. My learning is, if your analysis, be it technical or fundamental, if it is strong enough, you got to have that sort of trust and patience in your investment. It is going to give you a decent return. There would be an outlier case here and there where the stock never comes back, it is almost dead. Then obviously you need to look at the factors that are outside your control. You need to understand and learn why this is happening, and then you have to manage your portfolio accordingly. But if you are like I said, if your analysis is strong enough, if you're confident of what numbers that you analyzed before are decent, then stay there. um, Most likely you are going to book a decent profit out of it.
Yeah, so constantly learning. It's about.
Constantly learning,
Yeah.
absolutely, man.
Yeah. So you have like a lot of experience in stock market. Do markets still surprise you?
Of course, every day. That's the whole beauty of it. So I'll tell you, I'll go a bit off course on this. So when we hire people, and we talk about this a lot, and when we say we are a stock broking company, or we're into stock market space, they take a step back. It's like they get a little surprised, or probably I'd say shocked, because they believe that stock market is such a space that they can't really manage. So that is the challenge that we have to sort of sell, that okay, stock market, don't worry so much, we want to make you learn how things go. as as a trader or investor myself, or somebody who has been there, running a business within the industry, it surprises you at multiple levels. It disappoints you as well every now and then, but that is the story of most likely every other industry. Okay, there are industries like textile industry or footwear industry that are dead, like they're gonna go with the way they're going for the next rest of their lives. But this particular industry is gonna bring its charms to you when it gives you decent returns, and it gonna give you sometimes a bit of a disappointment as well when it doesn't go your way. So I'd actually say I enjoy the surprises and shocks we get every now and then.
Do you feel that this stock market industry is recession proof?
No, no, I never say that. I just said it's going to disappoint you. So recession actually. So let's say I'll take the example of this COVID thing. So there were industries like real estate. There were industries like the banking industry, for that matter, who took a deep dive. They are still recovering, and there are industries like pharmaceutical. There are industries like FMCG, who actually had a huge leap on a positive level. And the stock market in itself is dependent on all of these industries. So a recession in stock market can only happen if most of the industries die, which most likely happened during 2008 phase, where most likely every industry had a grim phase. But even that recession is sort of short-lived. Auto industry is trying to come back. Stock market came back, and it went down and came back in almost no time. So it is not recession proof, but it has sturdy foundations, I'd say, and it bounces back pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, like now I want to talk a bit before starting a digital blogger. Like, what are the steps you have taken? Like, because like whenever you started anything, there's a risk associated with it, right? So, what
Yeah.
steps like you have taken in form of savings or like before like leaving your job and starting something?
I was a completely different guy back then, man. So I had no savings. I had no idea, man, that what kind of future I was like a normal guy who has done bachelor's in technology, and who's happy doing a job, and who's happy with the salary. I was just married. Then this thing of GMAT came into my head that I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna do my MBA. I had no money. The MBA cost me around 40 lakh, like I mentioned, and I had probably 4 5 lakhs in my hand. So not even 10% of what was supposed to pay. But we figured out through multiple sort of ways. I'd say that was not that is not something that you should be doing. You should actually be putting up your money in different sort of investment classes. Build a portfolio, get some sort of savings into any sort of investment class, for that matter. Consistently keep a sip going on. Put in mutual funds, buy something in real estate every now and then, buy gold. Not now, it's kind of not a good recommendation, but buy gold every now and then. Put your money obviously into the stock market. Keep doing that, because if you need, like I was needing desperately then, you'd have to look for things which are going to cost you a lot, like education loans for that matter, or taking help from your family and friends. So back then, if I were to be the guy who was supposed to tell you guys do this and do that, I'd say no, don't look at me back then, because I was not a perfect example. But now, if I reflect on what the situation was, I strongly say that keep on doing. I right now I do that. Obviously we have a business to run, but still I make out something every month so that we keep on putting up investments in one space or the other.
So, like, if you want to start, suppose you're working now, and if you want to start your own startup, so what are the things you'll do? Because, like, just I told you, you have risk. Like, you need to be financially stable even after, because you have family to look after, right? So, what will be the things you'll do, and like, what will be the checkpoints, like, before starting something if you're working currently?
So yeah, okay. I yeah, that I can answer because I exactly did that. See, while you're working, make sure that you are learning everything. Not every, but you're learning every now and then. You're putting your time into the domain that you're trying to enter into. You're learning about the industry. You're trying to learn about the skills. You're trying to learn about what the challenges are. You got to learn about what the current peers are, and how do you enter without burning too much cash. So keep on doing that. Take some time. Don't rush. 6 to 8 months, 1 year, 2 years max. 2 years is very conservative, but okay, probably some people would spend so much time, but do that. Once you understand that you have a decent amount of education or experience or both, to enter into that space, you have to take the risk of kicking off your job. You can't do both. You can't be doing your job and setting up the business together. That can't work. Yeah, it may work that it will take you 4 years to get to a point where you could reach to that point in 3 4 months while you're doing the whole thing yourself. And the best part of doing your own thing is you can spend 20 hours working and you won't really regret. So my first few months, I would only do two things: sleep and work. Eat while working, rather. And you gotta do that, keep that thing going. But that was only happening because I was spending decent amount of time while I was working as well. But you have to take the risk and jump out of your job once you think you are ready, and you would know that your gut would tell you that, okay, boss, this is the time, let's jump off the board now.
Uh,
Yeah.
Great. So I think, like, we have discussed so many great things, and like there's so much learning. So I think we came to an end of this beautiful conversation. So viewers, if you think that this conversation added anything meaningful to your life, do give a thumbs up, and do check out Digital Blogger and Stock Pathshala app, because if you're really passionate towards stock market, then this can really help you. Till then, keep exploring.